Hey everybody, I'm over here being unmanly right now, apparently. Welcome to the Homestead update. We'd like to say hi to everybody in the chat. We got Michael Self-Preservation Awakening in there, and Rabid Coyote, Heidi Ho Neighbor, Terminator's in the house. Let's see here. Scanes is in the house. Scanes, we will try not to bore you tonight, okay? We want you to stay awake as long as possible.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, she said she's not sure how long she's going to be sticking around because she's tired.
Oh.
Jane's in the house. Let's see here. Homestead Twins, how you guys doing? Gregory Kissel.
Hey.
Is it Gregory or Susie? Anyway,
Probably both.
Midwest Preparedness. I know who that is. Half Bubble Off Plum, best name on the interwebs. Lan, what's up? Son of Hacks. We got a lot of people in here. Hey, Sam.
Sam.
Bonnie Blue. All right, listen, I hope everybody had a great week. We've been doing a lot of stuff around here, trying to get ready for some future plans. You want to tell them what we're doing this weekend?
Yeah. So, as you guys know, we talked about it last week, and we're going Midwest Preparedness Mag Meetup, and we are going to be, well, I will. Garen's going to be my workhorse. And so we are going to be doing the canning class. We're going to do canning 101 and 102 all in one felt swoop. We're going to be doing Sloppy Joe, getting that meat on, and then loaded baked potato soup and cheddar broccoli soup and applesauce and apple butter. And so I'm getting all that stuff together. And yeah, so there's still some tickets left for that. If you want to be in person, it's in North Topeka. But here's some news, and Midwest Preparedness is in the house. So y'all think that if you cannot make it on Sunday, the 19th, there's a Patreon link for all of you that can't make it. So you'll just get into the Patreon. You'll go ahead and pay the fee, and then you'll go in and sign up. And it is a one-time link. So you'll want to make sure that you got time to sit down and really look at it. And we do this just to make sure that everything's on the up and up, and y'all aren't just sharing links. So if you do share that link, be prepared. Once it's used, you won't be able to use it.
Hang on, Patrick. I'm going to make you a moderator. Where is it? There it is.
Oh, is that what you're doing?
I'm going to make you a moderator so you can post that link.
Yeah.
As a moderator.
Look at that. Look at how that works.
There you go. Now you should be able to post that link.
Yeah. So you guys hold this link dear near, get in there, sign up, get your pass, and then that way you can see what we are doing.
Yep. Okay. Now I want you guys to settle a dispute here. So I think that the people doing the class should do the heavy lifting. They need to get that experience. They're paying for the experience. They should be doing that instead of me sticking around. So put a 1 in chat if you think I need to be the workhorse. Put a 2 in the class or in the chat if you think that the people attending the class should get the full experience of canning, especially when it comes to that 2-burner Amish canner that she got that weighs about 70-80 pounds when it's full of water.
So here's the deal. So you all know since the accident and all of that, I'm not supposed to be lifting over 25 pounds. So a lot of these canners, it's especially when there's water and stuff in them, it's hard for me to lift. Now, I know I'm going to have help there, but at the same time, I don't want to have to count on that. I don't want to just assume, right, that it's going to be there and take advantage.
See, look, we got people, Tiger, Half Bubble, and Leonard all say that
let them have the experience.
The people should have the experience. It's part of learning.
It is. It is
burning your forearm on a hot canner.
I really don't want that to happen.
Save our backs. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I'll help set up, but I'm gonna bow out once it gets going. I'm gonna stay out of the way and keep my pie hole shut. Two ears and one mouth, right, guys?
He won't.
See, look, even Midwest says
agreed.
People should experience it all. That and sticking your hand down into boiling water because it's too deep and your tongs aren't long enough.
These are not experiences that I don't know. I just want to be careful with it. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll
Well,
take it. We'll take it a little bit at a time.
So we will make sure that nobody gets hurt. Tiger wants to know what the link for. The link is for a one-time Patreon session where you can watch the class live.
So I'm going to be teaching everybody. So there's been a lot of questions about different pressure canners, electric, Presto, All-American, etc. So we've got several of that. The Amish water bather, regular water bather. We've got those. A lot of people. So we'll start there. And then equipment, that kind of thing. I do need to get with Neon. So Midwest, if you're still watching, I need more funnels. I went and priced funnels so to make sure we had enough at each station. And they're expensive now. So I'm going to see if I can't get a bulk price and get them delivered. I need to get them ordered tonight if I can find a bulk price so that they're here by Friday. But anyway, so I'm going to be calling everybody and going, come on, what if you don't want to be filmed? So Bonnie Blue, if you don't want to be filmed, you don't have to be filmed. It's going to be focused primarily on me. Good. Thank you. Thank you, Pat. It's going to be mainly focused on me because I'll be the one teaching the class. So we will make sure that, Pat, are you hearing this? So we will make sure that if you do not want to be filmed, we will make sure that you are not in that filming area. Hey, these guys, this is not their first rodeo. We do this at festivals too. So there's an area of the festival where you can stand still, learn, hear speakers, participate, do all of that where you're not filmed. So not our first rodeo. We got it. So Bonnie Blue, does that mean you're coming?
We go thumbs up right there.
Yay. Awesome.
Pat Bubble wants to know how much time you allowed for teaching people.
5 hours.
5 hours, and there's going to be at least 4, maybe five canners going at any given time. So so people will get a chance to get hands-on if they want to. Yeah,
there you go. There's the answer. So the class workshop, it is scheduled to run 4 to 5 hours. So I'm prepping a lot of stuff and doing that kind of thing so that we can focus mainly on the canning and all of that and don't have to do so much of the prepping. And we came up with something really cool because we were talking like, this is a lot of jars to sanitize and get all of that done. So you guys are also going to get to learn a fun off-grid trick to sanitize your jars and lids and rims and all of that stuff. So this is exciting. This is like when we're doing it outside and I'm canning and I'm teaching ranchers and all of that stuff how to do it. This is what we do and this is how we do it. Because especially when you're laying out a hog, 150 chickens, or what else have we done? Cows and all kinds of stuff. When you're laying that out, it's a lot of jars. And so there's only one way to do that. And we're going to show you guys how we do it.
So Tiger, it's going to be at, I cannot remember the name of the church, but there's a church in North Topeka right across from Sutherland's.
On October 19th. And it's on a Sunday. Yes, yeah, October 19th on Sunday. Patrick, perhaps you could go ahead and put the address of the well, they can go to you can also go to Midwest Preparedness Project.
They can go to it's Seaman Community Church.
They can we have the flyer up on the community page.
Yes, I was going to say that.
Okay.
Yeah, the flyer's on the community page if you guys want to see it.
Yeah.
And I will when we're done here, I will post the Patreon link.
And so if any of you are planning on being in person and you have not yet reserved your spot, class is limited. Very few limited seats in there. So you need to make sure that you get on there, either jump on our community page or jump over at Midwest Preparedness and make sure that you get your Venmo in and get your spot reserved. And otherwise, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to be watching it on screen.
I'll figure out how to get that over there.
What's that?
The Patreon link for people that want to do it.
Oh, can you not list it?
Yeah, it is going to be a busy day. Normally this class that she gives is an 8-hour day, right?
It's usually all day.
Yeah, it's an 8-hour class. And she gives it actually you gave it basically off grid because we were canning on
I do everything off grid when I teach it out and about. So I've taught it in Kentucky, Tennessee, and then it's always been off grid.
Yep. So this is going to be fun because we aren't going to have to fight the wind and we're not going to have to lug water halfway across the UT UK campus.
Yeah. Tiger, that's okay if you can't be there. That's why we created the Patreon link, because we knew that this was going to I can't take credit for it. That was all Midwest Preparedness that did that. We had somebody in Kentucky that said, hey, I want to be a part of this. Can you? And lo and behold, ta-da, Patrick figured it out and got it done with help from another YouTuber. And so to figure that out and get that done.
Yep.
So that's what that's for, Tiger. So you go ahead and get in there and grab your link. And then while you guys are gone, you come back. Once you got some downtime, you sit down and watch the class.
Yep. And I'm working on rewriting my cheese class and making it into a 4 or 5 hour session. And we're looking at maybe after the beginning of the year, do the same thing with the cheese class and see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. So hopefully nobody will have to wash the ceiling, right? Yeah. Hopefully. I don't know, Darren. It's a pretty high ceiling. I don't know if it'll reach that high.
You know, it's always fun. And I know that they tease because they love me, but it's always fun. I do like when a mistake happens. You know, I gave a canning class off grid, and it was in Kentucky, and it was the 8-hour class. And I had a lot of first time canners, and we had some, I didn't check their lids because I wanted them to learn. And some of them were not tight like they should have been. And so this, you know, the lesson learned, let's make sure here's how tight you want it. I'll pass the jar around and make sure that everybody does that. But we had some failures in there. We had some leaks. We did, I think at that point we were doing coleslaw and spaghetti sauce.
St. Louis coleslaw and spaghetti sauce.
And
which
so
makes a
spaghetti
nasty
sauce
mess.
with the meat. And so it was really fun because it was just 2 jars, right? I think it was just 2 of the spaghetti jars that failed.
No, one of the coleslaw ones
Did the coleslaw fail too? And so the lids literally popped off. And so it was interesting because I was like, oh man, that sucks, you know, but this is what happens. And so you got to make sure you're checking your jars and you're doing this and that. Do you know, every single person in the class that I am so grateful that happened while you were here and that happened to you while you're teaching us, because had that happened to me and I was by myself, I'll never can again. And
people like
so,
that.
yeah. And so I was super excited that we had that. So I don't mind to fail when I'm teaching. I really don't. And so, you know, but at least we get everybody on it. And then when something happens, we say, you know what, this happens. And this is why we do X, Y, Z.
Well, and part of the problem is people get this unrealistic expectation of homesteading and canning and doing all these things. We don't live in a zero defect world. Things happen, and part of learning how to do the process is learning how to deal with failures, right? So we need to embrace, and you know, the people that hang it up after one time of it failing just drive me nuts.
Look at this. Tiger's playing favorites. She'll make sure she's there for your cheese class.
Because she knows.
She'll want my grading class.
She knows.
Oh, goodness.
No, I mean, in the failing thing, I like I said last week, that happened with the cheese demonstration at Self-Reliance Festival, and I turned it into a learning experience for people.
Nice. That's right. So limited seats, people. Make sure.
Tiger's been rendering lard from a hog picked up yesterday. That's always fun.
Nice.
And the dogs get the cracklings at the bottom of the crock pot.
You usually get the cracklings.
No, you know what? This just too. No.
Too much now?
Yeah.
Not when you were younger.
Grateful Hearts.
Hey. Yeah. So yeah, this canning class is going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, you guys make sure, get in there, get your passes. We're going to have a good time. It'll be a lot of fun.
Actually, I wasn't able to cut the cheese because it turned into cottage cheese, which is impossible to cut.
But it's still, at least you got cottage cheese.
Yeah,
I still consider that a win.
Again,
5 gallons of cottage cheese.
Yeah, what do you do with 5 gallons of cottage cheese? Well, I'll tell you, in one instance, you pour it in the lake so the fish can eat it. Len says, in school, you get the answers, then test. In life, you get tested and have to figure out the answer. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, and that's, you know, that's not the only thing we did around here this weekend. I worked on the chicken coop yesterday. I had a long weekend because the tribe celebrates Indigenous Peoples Day,
Columbus Day.
which happens to be Columbus Day.
It's Columbus Day because they already have an Indigenous people, but because they made it a national holiday and in 2020 changed it to Indigenous People Day, that's why because it's a federal holiday. So the reservation, they do. Yeah. Well, Patrick, do you want to address the time of that class? And then, so if anything, you come and we're going to be participating in their church service at their church. It's non-denominational. So we'll be participating in their church service just so that we're there on time. And then I think Patrick said, like, we have a potluck. So I'll have to make sure I bring something for potluck. And then you do the potluck after and then sit down and eat. And then we'll start the canning class right after that. So she didn't write it down. Yeah, say 1 to 5:30. I want to say I think lunch is at like 12:30. And so we were thinking, like, I don't know. Patrick can answer this.
Go to the community page if nobody gets you the answer, and it's on the flyer there, Bonnie Blue.
Yeah.
But I worked on the coop yesterday. I spent an hour getting the door to the run so it would properly close. Guess what won't close tonight?
Oh, seriously?
So I gotta.
Is it the rain? I bet it swelled up.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it, but I had a good half inch. I think it sank in the mud.
Could be.
So I got to get in there and jack it back up and block it more.
Yep.
And then I started putting soffit on, and I'm telling you this, putting soffit on a building by yourself is a pain in the butt.
Was that the last comment?
Yeah.
Yes, Miss Sanji. Yeah, 1:45 to 5:45, Bonnie.
There you go.
And you, like I said, you're welcome to come to church with us too. Church starts at 10:30.
Okay.
Yeah, 10:30. That's what Neon said. So starts at 10:30, and then we'll get your manja on after.
What else we? Oh, tag dang near killed me today, or on Sunday, I guess it was. Dang near killed me on Sunday because I went over to get a bale of hay, and he was putting it in the back of the truck, and I was like, "Hey, I got to roll that out." So he turned it around and he put it in sideways, and then he proceeded to stick it all the way back in the back, as far back in the bed as he could, and it took me 30 minutes to tear that hay bale apart enough that I could roll it out because it was a big 1,800 pound hay bale.
Check that out. It's not even potluck. I don't have to cook nothing.
Oh,
it's provided by the church. How sweet is that?
Oh, nice.
So they must do theirs on Sundays where our church does theirs on Wednesdays.
Wednesday,
yeah. Okay, nice.
Yeah. Hey, Mississippi Homestead.
Hi.
Hope you're doing okay. But that was fun. I got to be honest with you. I was getting a lot of work done until I went and got that hay bale. And after I got done with that hay bale, I was gassed. I'm telling you, it was time to sit down and take a nap.
So it's crazy. Like, this is the first time that where I work, they decided to go ahead and work this holiday. And so I wasn't here, and I came home, and like, he was going to be so sweet. And he's like, "Oh yeah, if I got time, I'm going to have those apples peeled for you. They're going to be ready to go. So you can toss everything in the oven. I'll have this done and that done." I was like, sweet. This is going to be a really easy week. It's going to be great. No problem. And that hay bale killed him.
No, that was the hay bale was Sunday. Yesterday,
Was that Sunday?
Yesterday, I worked from 7 o'clock to 4:30, and I was.
Oh, because you did the door and all that.
I was a little spent.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I got a lot done. Started working on a. Did I tell you guys about the children's book idea that we have? Anyway, I'm writing some children's stories because we're going to start a new channel. Probably sometime in December, we're going to start it. Going to be us reading bedtime stories to our grandkids. We're going to film it, put it on YouTube so that the kids can watch it. And
we got to get mom and dad needs some rest.
Yeah,
both mom and dads.
And and we don't get a chance to see them all the time. So we're gonna get books that they want to read and all this. And Son of Hack suggested that I try my hand at writing children's book, and I did one, and everybody seems to like it.
So cute.
We've got a community member, the trad wife, is looking to seeing about doing the graphics for it.
So Tradwife is extremely talented artist. She's even designed one of our t-shirts, 1 or 2 t-shirts. I think she did 2.
Oh, thank you, Tiger.
Oh, thanks, Tiger.
Awesome.
So yeah, did she say she's gonna be there for it?
She says she's in there. I'm
All
there
right.
for it.
All right,
All right.
sweet. And so the so
The
she
mater.
goes in.
She
Yeah,
did
she
that.
did the Mater Fairy, and I thought she did another one for us too. I could be wrong. I think
don't remember.
maybe she was just testing one. And she's an amazing artist. So I am super excited to bring her on along on this journey. And then we're gonna figure out compensation, try to figure out what illustrators get and that kind of thing. And we're gonna make it legit, like
Yeah.
publishers and the whole 9 yards.
And quite frankly,
so stinking cute stories, you guys. Like all of our animals and the things that they go through. He has done an amazing job.
I got it.
Super, super sweet.
So Sunday morning before church, I was trying to write a couple of quick stories, and I did one about Manfred, the German Shepherd, and I did one about my Gizmo, who was a little teacup Mulchipoo we used to have. And dude, I felt like an idiot because I'm sitting there at 7:00 in the morning, just tears rolling down my cheeks as I'm writing about these stupid animals.
Yeah.
Just because these stories made me miss them.
Yeah. Super cool. And he came in. Yeah. I know. Like your whole vibe is going to be gone. Like everybody's going to know what a teddy bear you are.
Let's see here. 1,800 pound is not moved by hand. I have used a tractor and a log chain to move if the loader doesn't work. Yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I did it, I set it on the flat end, hanging about halfway off the bed of the truck,
Sweet.
and then I strapped it in. And then all I had to do was cut the netting and push it off the back of the truck. But this one was a pain. I had to get that thing about halfway down before I was able to roll it out of the back of the truck.
Oh my goodness.
And the poor goats and sheep, they were sitting, I locked them up in the front end of the pen so they weren't bothering me.
We knew you have our food.
And for 30 minutes I had to hear, we're starving.
Which wasn't helping your patience, I bet.
And there's a story there too.
Yeah,
like she said, I'm gonna use it to teach lessons. There's gonna be morality plays in it. And I've got all the different personalities of the animals in place. And it's just a matter of putting the stories together at this point.
Oh, and he's got quite a few of them done, and they are just so cute. But I told him he has to start slowing, like write them while they're on your mind, but he's got to slow down a little bit because we're depending on the artist, and that takes a little more time. So,
we're gonna learn how to self-publish. And you know what? If I learn how to self-publish, I may just make a second business out of helping other people get published.
Well, and the weird part is he put some questions in with a publishing company, and just because he wanted to know where to start, and the publishing company is now all of a sudden like, "Hey, are you ready? Submit." Yeah. And he's like, "Wait, no, I've got the stories together, but I need the illustrations and this and that." And they're like, "We don't care. We want your story." So they're excited, it seems like, but that's also their business too. So who knows?
So I don't sing to the grandkids, but I do the voices, and we talk about the pictures and get them as involved as we can. Unfortunately, I
tease them a little bit.
My method of telling bedtime stories usually leads the kids more wound up when they're done than whenever I start, but they go to sleep.
Yeah. So, look there, Lynn. Yep. It's not that hard. He'll help you.
All right.
I appreciate sweet, it. Lynn. Thank you. So now we got to go to, and then, so super funny. Give him a little bit of teaser. So
about
the rats, what role do the rats play on farm?
Okay. Somebody in chat, having been with us as long as you have, if you've been here in the chat for quite a while, you've known me for quite a while. What type of personality and archetype do you think the rats are? And what type of personality and archetype do you think the sheep are?
This is not far-fetched at all. If you know us at all, you know what it is.
In fact, Son of Hacks read it and he was laughing because he's like a little overtly political there, isn't it? I was like, I don't think it's overtly political.
I told Kieran when I first read it, I'm like, I see where you're going with this. And do you think people are going to read into it? And he's like, they should. Yeah, I hope they do. Like, okay.
Terminator's daughter came in and butchered 4 hogs yesterday. 2 of them were over 300 pounds, and the 2 were almost 300. Awesome. Lots of chops and bacon.
That's awesome. I saw the pictures too. So she sent pictures, and so I was looking through the pictures. God, you got a beautiful family.
Yeah, Son of Hacks, you know, it's
It is.
but the pigs that I've dealt with on homesteads are not like the pigs in Animal Farm.
Yeah, they're not. Like our pigs have always been so good.
And the ducks
And they're
are
excited to see everybody, and they're like, "Where's my food?" Whoa, maybe they are. Maybe they are like that.
Lynn, rats are leftists and sheep are normies. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's about it.
No, the sheep are far from Snake Plissken. They're anti.
No, it's super funny. No, I've had a lot of fun reading them. Other people have had a lot of fun reading the stories, and yeah, super cute. You've done a good job. So I'm excited to see where it goes with it. But I'm kind of thinking, like, since it's Grumpy Acres Farm, we need to come up with it. Like, so can I show this, or is that copyrighted? Yeah. Okay, so
that's actually a storybook.
Yeah, I know. So, like, this is what I was thinking of. So, Son of Hacks and Mrs. Hacks and Mr. Hacks, they were at a bookstore and they were looking. Were they looking at children's books or something like that? I don't even know how it came up. And so all of a sudden they found this and they thought, gee, you should have it. And it's I'm Not Grumpy, and it's the Grumpy Monkey. And so, like, we are Grumpy Acres. The story is Grumpy Acres Farm, and it's stories of our animals. I think our mascot is the goat. It's Baby. And so maybe we kind of do a stuffed animal and bookmarks like this eventually, if it takes off, right? And then how cute would that be? Then they could listen to the stories, hold their grumpy goat,
have a little plush baby.
What is that? And it would be super cute. Like if you could like touch its ear and it made a sound, we would just
right? That's the exact sound it would make.
Right? so maybe we could do that. Like, I just all kinds Bobby. Of stuff. And I think we could probably like start at what's that teddy bear place you could go in. The kids used to love it. We used to take them. Is that even still in?
I don't know.
Is it still a thing?
You know what? Not yet there, Leonard, but that's a pretty good idea.
Does who?
Patriot Kitty
get to wear a what? A cape?
Yep. Yeah, I might have to tell the story how she got her name, going after the communist, the communist.
Yeah.
Mice.
Yeah, and then she had those communist mice. They were all over our food storage, and we were like, oh no.
No, they ate my Gadsden flag.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
That's why I threw her in there.
Yeah. And then so we didn't have a cat, and then once that happened, then Garen's like, go get a cat. And so, did we get that cat from Angie?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, got that from the Hands, right? So we get this cat from the Hands, and then all of a sudden, we couldn't figure out what to name her. So we were just calling Kitty, I think.
Yeah.
And then, cat, because it's just barking.
So imaginative, right?
And so then he throws her down there, and next thing you know, we have no mice problem.
Yep.
And we're like, dang, Patriot Kitty. And then she gets knocked up, and now we got Freedom Kitty, and oh my gosh. And Freedom, man, she sticks up to her name too. She either wants something to do with you or she doesn't. Just leave her alone. She's in her business and her business only.
Okay, now I gotta tell you a story about writing one of these things. So I did a story about Baby the goat, about how he liked to have his ears scratched, right? And it was I'm gonna sound like I'm bragging here, but it actually turned out way better than I thought it was going to. But I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, and I'm like, ooh, I can't publish something like this because it's all about me touching Baby and him enjoying his ear being scratched, right? And I couldn't help but think, I was like, some perv, somebody that belongs in a wood chipper is going to get this book and they're going to use it to convince a small child that it's okay for them to be pervy to them. And I told Angela this, and she said it was just
on Sunday morning. I was like, that is so twisted for you to come and tell me that on a Sunday morning.
Well, and unfortunately, these are things we got to think about. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong there. Tell me if I'm wrong about thinking about things like that.
So, Lynn, that story is actually the one we're talking about. That's the first book that comes out. the communist rats and the
It's not a trans story.
I mean, I totally
It's
could
about
see it.
it's about fighting. Well, no, it's about finding out who you really are,
and people not telling you what you are.
Yeah.
So.
I baked a ham tonight, and my dog's spotting, thinking they're gonna get it.
All right. Yeah.
I made lamb chops tonight, and Dolly sat right there and stared at me the whole time I was cooking them. I was like, you're not, you might get a bone, but you're not getting one of these.
Right. See, Bonnie Blue said, yeah. No, what made you feel that way? Was it the story or the fact that you were talking about baby? Could you not change baby's name?
No, it's not that.
It's the story
itself. It's the story itself, because I could see it being abused. Yeah, Tiger, we're gonna try to. We're gonna try. We're gonna get the artwork, and then we're gonna approach a publisher and see about getting it published.
So if you all didn't know, Lynn, good friend of ours, we were stationed. Garen and him were stationed together. I just took care of Lynn. He was just one of the guys. I fed him, made sure he had a safe place to drink, and then laugh and have fun. And so when he didn't have his family, he had us. We were his family. So he is a brother. And so Lynn is actually a bestseller. He has been on New York's, New York's best-selling list. What is it? Lynn, now's the time.
He's a published author.
He's a published author, does self-healing books and that kind of thing. I'm sure that's wrong. It's called something else.
He will correct
Lynn, correct me. Get that in there. Tell us what you do. And so he's published before, so he's just offered to help walk us through that. So we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it done.
Well, and
then maybe I can finish up that cookbook. Yeah, that's overdue.
Well, it's a sad commentary that you got to think like this. Amazon #1 in 4 categories. There you go. Amazon bestseller. It's even better than New York Times.
It is.
But I want these things to be positive, and there's just so much negative stuff out there, and I want kids to know that the world is not the way some people make it out to be. I want them to know that it can be wholesome, and it can be entertaining, and it can be educational without being sexualized or radicalized.
Let's just go back to the way it was when we were kids. Let's go back to some normalcy. Right. I saw even today, who was it? Letty Lou was talking. So there was some chatter on Discord.
What's a Letty Lou?
You know who Letty Lou is?
And
so so there was some chatter, back and forth, and she was talking like she's so burnt out on VeggieTales because she had to babysit and they only let the kids watch VeggieTales. And so she's like, I'm over it. And so then she started talking about her kids, and her kids like the old Warner Brothers cartoons from when we were kids. And they're like, they think they're absolutely hysterical, which they are. Little inappropriate. Why Gen Xers are the way they are, and why we're constantly trying to roll boulders, blow up dynamite, and all that crap. But anyway, you get my point. So they think it's funny. And so, but it is. We just need to grab back. I am going to say this. We need to get back the innocence instead of being instead of being groomed. How about that? Let's get back the innocence.
Yeah.
So
it's going to be fun. It's just something. Okay. For anybody that hasn't known me for like decades. So I am a very creative person. I always had some sort of hobby, even when I was in the Marine Corps. I always had some sort of hobby that. Yeah, I saw that. I had it up there.
Okay. I didn't see that.
But I always had some sort of creative hobby that I was doing, and I had to give up. My hobby of painting toy soldiers and selling those online because my eyesight got bad, and I can't manipulate the brushes like I used to. And I'm painting figures that are 15 millimeters tall, and I'm doing all kinds of designs and stuff on them. So I can't do that anymore. So I need to find something that is going to give me that creative outlet. And I've always enjoyed writing. I did technical writing in the Marine Corps. I did technical writing when I got out. I've had a blog spot where I was posting some fiction that I wrote, you know, and so it's a good outlet. And if you're even remotely creative, you should be doing something like this too. There's one thing I've learned over the last 4 years is you cannot spend all your time working on the property and worrying about, you know, is the end going to come tomorrow? You have to take some time and breathe and just enjoy life a little bit. Right.
Right. Yeah. So Pokey Puppy and Clifford the Big Red Dog. Clifford the Big Red Dog. That was our kids' age. I remember Clifford the Big Red Dog.
That was my age.
Was that your age?
Yes, that was my age.
You know, I never saw Clifford the Big Red Dog when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah. We were, oh, you know why we didn't have cable? We were military, so we were poor.
We didn't have cable when I was a kid.
How did you see that? It must have been like a Missouri thing, a Midwest
It was
thing
in a book.
See, I didn't get those books. So, like books, when I got books, they were usually given to me, either Christmas or friends and that kind of thing. But maybe that's why I'm not a big reader. That could be part of the problem. But or library and that kind of thing. But I never checked that out because everything was like work. When I got a book, everything, you know, you had to do a book report. I'm like, well, this is stupid. Why would I read a book if I have to do work? But anyway, I was a strange child. But so yeah, no, Clifford the Big Red Dog. I don't remember that when I was a kid. It's a possibility it was there. I remember book fairs, but I don't ever remember that. I remember it from our kids.
No, that was a 1950s thing.
Really?
Or 60s, I think.
See, like even we were watching reruns like Popeye and who's a cat? The clock cat. Felix the cat.
Felix.
I loved that cartoon. Felix the cat was cool. But yeah, so I don't know.
So
this is now you know why I'm warped.
Here's something here. I'm sure I've told this story before. But we were visiting her cousins and their kids, and I was sitting down there, and the youngest one came down and wanted to watch Paw Patrol on the second TV, which was in the downstairs living room. So I was in there and I was talking to him. He was what, about 5 at the time?
Yeah.
He was about 5 at the time. And so he starts watching Paw Patrol. So I sat down and started watching it with him. And I'm watching this show and there's no bad guys.
None.
There's like no bad guys whatsoever. And I asked him, I said, are there any bad guys? And he looks at me, he goes, no. And I was like, well,
what's the point?
Yeah. Why? And he goes, they help people. They help people that get themselves in trouble. So that was the whole, when Paw Patrol first came out, that was the whole thing behind it was there were no villains. There were just people that make mistakes. Well, I guess Paw Patrol, the creators of Paw Patrol figured out that was not a winning solution in the long run, because the last time I watched it was with my granddaughter.
And they have a villain.
And there's a villain.
Yep.
He's not somebody that just made a mistake. He's a villain. Yep. You know, which is fine.
Was it the mayor that's the villain?
Yeah.
Do I remember that?
Yeah, they made him the villain.
Yeah.
We could buy those books through the Weekly Reader in grade school, or the Scholastic. The Scholastic book
is what
fairs.
I remember. Scholastic book fairs. Yeah, I just wasn't looking for them. But I was also a girl, so I was looking for glitter and that kind of thing.
And then says reading was homework.
It was, yeah.
Well, it drove me nuts when we first got married because
which is really weird because my dad's a reader.
I'm an avid reader, and I was always trying to get her to read something. And her idea of reading was grabbing a Cosmo magazine or something like that and reading something like that. And it used to drive me nuts.
Show me the article. I want the recipe. Just give me the recipe. She buys it to read the articles, not look at the pictures. No, like I'm like, I'll look through like Magnolia and those kind of things. I'll look through the magazine and see how many recipes are in there. And if the recipes are really good, or the book is about recipes, and I'm like, okay, I could tweak that one. Wonder what this one would taste like. And so then I'll buy it. But otherwise, if there's only one or two, I don't buy it.
Gregory's using Looney Tunes as an educational thing.
Right.
Well, and you learned that you couldn't take roller skates off a cliff because you would fall and end up in a hole. Yeah, the Scholastic book fairs.
I do remember those.
I love those as a kid, but I hated them as a parent.
I remember and it was just, if I remember correctly, when I was a kid, it was only like 4 pages front and back, and they would fold it. But
that's the Scholastic.
It was Scholastics, but by the time that our kids were in school, those damn things were coming once a month, and they were thick. Mm-hmm. And Lexi's like, I want this book and this book and this book. Ian's like, I got time for that. I'm in sports and doing all this stuff. And which they both turned out fine. Ian's a reader, debater, all of that. He's done great with his life. And so is Lexi, but Lexi was a reader as well. So at least they picked up something good, I guess.
Well, and quite frankly, the part of the problem. Okay, I'm gonna sound like a really old person here. Part of the problem with this younger generation is a lot of them don't read. They listen to audiobooks, so they're getting that, but they watch a lot of videos, they watch a lot of movies, and they don't do a lot of reading. And I'm a firm believer in the fact that reading exercises your imagination and it gets you thinking in different ways. In fact, I posted the picture of it in the community pages where there's two images side by side. One is a kid sitting there watching TV, and it's just a shadow of him watching TV. And the other one is a little girl sitting cross-legged reading a book, and the shadow has a castle and dragons and trees and all kinds of detail behind it. And that's the way I view reading.
Speaking of the difference in generations, did you get my text today about the penny?
No. See, my dad was a school teacher, and he would sit down and American Heritage used to do hardback books like back in the early 70s, and now it's a paperback magazine. But it had hardback books, and he would sit down every time one of those came, and he would read it to me. And that's that. And then my mom used to read novels, and she would read them to me. Probably a little bit young for both those, but it instilled in me that reading is important. And I don't read enough nowadays, but I do try to read at least 2 or 3 books a year now.
So, like, my grandfather was a reader, and so my dad was always working, so I didn't pick that up from him. But my grandpa was a reader. But here's what he read: Westerns. And he watched TV, and guess what he watched? Westerns. So I thought, well, I could either read a Western or I can watch a Western. Watching sounds way more fun. And so I'd usually just curl up in one of Grandma's Afghans and then lay down with old smoke and watch the Westerns with Grandpa.
Well, thank you, Bonnie. If we'll get them in the hands of libraries. We'll just donate them.
Yeah, definitely.
I always took Louisa Moore book to read while waiting in the elevator line during harvest. Yep. Mine, when I was on sea duty, I read constantly.
Yeah.
Seriously, because it was just did nothing else to do. Literally on duty, lifting weights, cleaning, or reading a book. And that was basically 90%.
Like when you guys were out.
Yeah, when we were out.
Because I was gonna say I don't remember you ever reading when you were home. So.
Oh, when I gave the detachment library about 30 or 40 books out of my collection.
Did you?
I have to occasionally purge, because if not, I end up with a whole bunch of books that I read once and that's it.
Yeah, like our library right now, we do have a library built up, and we actually have books missing from that. But it's like the old Marine Corps stuff that we can't get back, that what we feel like we'll never be able to find again, and then a lot of homesteading. We have a lot of old books. What's that one? Mo gave us our first copy, and we ended up with 2. And it was Reader's Digest, the Homestead book that had like the construction and all of that, and cooking and
no, the Reader's Digest books. Or no, those are the Time Life books. I know the one you're talking about though.
It's like old school.
Yeah.
And then somehow we ended up with the second one. So we just hold on to it in case somebody needs it. But
Tiger's reading 100 books a year.
Wow. Go Tiger.
The time I fall asleep.
Mm-hmm.
I end up with drool on my pages because I'm face down with my nose in the crease.
Right. So that's what's been going on. I need to get harvest in before it freezes. I got to get, I got peppers that need to come in.
Get those apples taken
care of. I got to get some tomatoes pulled in. Don't want those to go bad. I may just go ahead and do salsa verde with all the green tomatoes, and then get all that stuff pulled in. So the onions are doing something out there. Never done Egyptian walking onions. So we need to figure out
What
Aren't those
Egyptian?
walking onions that are in the front bed that Mike gave us?
No, the ones in the, you talking about the V-shaped one?
Yeah.
No, those are wild onions.
Are you positive about that? Oh,
Positive.
those, so the walking ones never
Yeah, the
took?
walking ones
Okay.
never took.
I'll tell him and get some more. But yeah, so yeah, we have a friend of ours that is, so he belongs to the Midwest mag, and he's got an orchard going, and he's got trees and all kinds of fun stuff coming. And we work for the same company. So I see him and I'm just like, nah, let's do XYZ. He's supposed to be working on some trees first. Is that mulberry trees or elderberry? No,
then-
that's pawpaw.
We got pawpaw seeds. I don't know if you guys can see that. Right there we go. Got some pawpaw seeds.
Has everybody seen a pawpaw? Should I go grab that pawpaw?
No.
Don't grab it.
She gave one of my pawpaws away this weekend. I was upset.
Like, I'm not going to cut it open, but they should know what they're looking at. So many people have these trees and they have no idea what they're looking at. Let me grab it.
So Gregory wants to know if you slice and freeze some of the apples. No, don't get my pawpaw. Don't.
No, I can everything. So like everything has a purpose. So my Granny Smith apples, that is all my apple pie. Those that have had my apple pie, they're like, holy hell, let her do it the way she does it. And I can everything. Usually by the end of February, March, somewhere in there, I don't have any apple pie filling left. We go through that many pies. Probably not so much this year. Well, I don't know now that I'm working, but possibly.
Well, and we're going to be selling stuff at the res too.
Right. We got Christmas and all that stuff coming up. So probably we'll be out. And so the reservation buys up. So I do my apple pies as enough for you to fill an entire pie, like really fill it like a homemade pie, not the crap you're buying from the store. And it is packed full of apples. And those they buy up like crazy on the reservation. So and then I use the rest of them.
That Tiger's out Homestead, and she got tomato sauce on the stove right
Well,
now.
if I could get the goats to stay out of my tomato plants, they keep
Yes.
tearing fences down.
Yes, they do. We're going to remedy that this winter.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab that pawpaw because I do believe people need to.
Well, bring me a spoon then.
No, I'm not bringing you a spoon. Do you want to eat
She's
it?
not going to let me. She's not going to let me have my own pawpaw.
You want it? You were just telling me you didn't want to eat it. I wasn't gonna cut it open.
Yeah, Bonnie. That was one of the reason I got the pawpaw seeds and the pawpaw was because a group of kids from Haskell University came up and gave a pawpaw class on the res last Thursday, and I sat through a little bit of it. I bowed out early because they were baking pawpaw bread, but I'm 100% certain that you could freeze that. Seeing what the pawpaw pulp looked like, it probably go brown on you if you did it, but I'm sure it would taste just perfectly fine. No, don't bring a spoon.
Oh yeah, I'm bringing you a spoon. You gotta eat it.
No.
It's gonna go bad.
You guys get to see me eat. We're gonna mukbang this pawpaw.
Oh, you want a paper towel to put the seeds on?
Apparently it's getting a little overripe, so I need to take care of it.
Well, it's probably just about right now.
And if you guys don't know, pawpaw is in Missouri they call it a custard tree because it literally tastes like banana custard.
So there's your spoon. So this is what a pawpaw looks like.
And that's a small one.
And this is a small one. And then I went ahead and cut it for him. Hopefully y'all can see that. And then it's yellow inside. So that's the banana custard in there. So that's what your pawpaw looks like. And then save the seeds so you can get a good orchard because this is one tree that needs a male and a female. So you're going to plant multiple in one area.
Yeah, Ozark banana plant.
Right.
And we have not had any luck.
We got pawpaws out of here, but then the goats wiped them out. They're like, "Oh, fruit! Let's
we
kill
tried.
the tree."
We tried doing the cuttings, and
well, that was our fault.
they did not work out well. And like you said, that was our fault.
That was our fault.
But
They did well. They had roots. We didn't get them planted.
Talking to the kids from Haskell, they've been doing it for a couple of years, and they said you could do it. So we're going to give it another try.
Yeah. All we got is that mail out there, though. Is that going to work off the mail?
No, not. We're gonna have to get these up
Get
and
those
running.
going.
Yeah. So I don't know. These seeds are awful small.
I think that's a baby. There's a big one right there.
Yeah, there's a big one. I'm sorry I'm eating in front of you guys. No, I'm not.
He's like when SHTF happens, we have an ice maker to run off the generators. All he has to have and pawpaws.
Actually, we
so
need
he
to
can
get a
have
new one
banana.
'cause the ice-
Yeah, we got to get a new one.
Gregory, the pawpaw tree will get about 15 to 20 feet tall. The
It's a
canopy,
thin tree.
the canopy on it is maybe 6-7 feet across, maybe a little bit bigger on some of them. It's an understory tree, so you're gonna find it growing in sandy, loamy soil in the understory underneath the bigger trees. The birds will eat them. Yeah, Bonnie says pawpaw spread by root disturbance, kind of like black locust.
Right.
They prefer creek bank areas. I have some. I've seen them in the city planted intentionally. Yeah, they also the birds will or the animals will eat the fruit and then they'll deposit the seeds around. And the seeds have to be what's not variegated.
Stratified.
They have to be stratified over the winter. So you can put them in dirt. You know the dirt you're going to plant them in, put them in that, and then stick them in your refrigerator over until springtime. Or what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bucket, fill it full of sand, and bury it and let them sit out there.
Yeah.
So Bonnie says she has some that are over 30 feet tall.
That's probably about right.
I don't ever remember them being that big.
The one in Pleasant Hill is bigger than what we have here, but it was also by the pond.
We didn't have a pawpaw tree.
Yeah, we did.
No, we had a persimmon tree, which is another one. There's another plant, another tree that I want to get in here and get because persimmon, that's some good stuff right there. She makes some wicked persimmon jam.
Yeah. But then we found out like this persimmon tree. Is that a persimmon tree? No, that's an apricot tree. Yeah, we need to get stuff going out here. Oh yeah, there's big seeds in there.
Yeah.
You get to clean all those plus Mo's.
I'll do it. I'm all about seed saving.
Mo came and visited. He was working on his property, getting everything winterized. And so he came and visited on Monday. And so when he was complaining, or Sunday, no, Saturday. We're both wrong. Wasn't it Saturday? Yeah, because they left on Sunday.
It was Saturday.
And then so he came on Saturday, so we were visiting, and then that's who I gave the pawpaw to. They're from New Mexico. They've never experienced.
Yeah, he'd never had a pawpaw. He'd never seen one.
So I'm like, yeah, that's worth you.
Bonnie Blue. Ooh, persimmon wine. I never thought about making persimmon wine.
Oh,
that'd be dangerous.
Yeah, be good. So anyway,
rabbits pushing persimmons on people.
Rabbits got persimmons.
You talking about, Gregor? Are you talking about pawpaws or the persimmons? I'm pretty sure persimmon trees will grow up that far north.
They should.
Pawpaw. I'll have to look that up. I think they can.
Aren't they?
They're not going to grow. They're not going to grow any place further than probably Omaha, maybe Lincoln, just because of the latitude. Plus they're definitely not going to grow out in the western side of the state.
I would think they'd have to be like zone 6 or more.
But it's so good.
So yeah. So anyway, so it's interesting. I was talking to, because I had to stop by, pick up the beef and all of that for the canning class, and I got to sit down and talk with a friend, and she started telling me, because of where she works and she's on the inside, and so, and we're going to be careful how we say it because nobody needs to know, and so very, 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 very interesting. So she started telling me, did you know, and I've seen this a couple places, but I didn't really know. I thought maybe like some libtard just kind of made it up. They're going to quit printing the penny in 2026. So after 2025, no more pennies, which is funny because this is the second time the penny has been stopped, because there used to be a 3-cent penny, But when stamps became 3 cents, it made more sense to trade stamps than it did to have the 3
When
cent
did you hear
penny.
that?
So those were created in 1863. It's on the internet. Ask Uncle Google. And so somebody that I'm friends with on Facebook, they actually found one, an old one. So that's why I started doing research on it and then looking at what was posted. So I did find that out. They quit replicating that, I believe, 1965, between 68, somewhere in there, or not 1918. And so that stopped completely. And so now here's the second time, no more pennies. So I'm like, well, how's that going to work? Well, apparently in 2 weeks, Sam's Club will start rounding to the nearest dollar as supposedly, quote unquote, in the customer's favor. I doubt that. And they will start nearing to the closest dollar in order for your charge. And so no more pennies, no more change. So if it comes to 97 cents, comes to 97 cents, you would think it would be like 95 cents. If it comes to 98 cents, does that mean that now it's $1?
Mm-hmm.
So is the dollar now the new penny? Now we've had some at work that are saying the $5 bill is the new penny. So we'll see how that works. But I thought it was very interesting that they're just pushing and pushing and pushing. And now they're forcing everybody pretty much, if you want your money to be to the dollar and you're watching, to be frank, if you're watching every penny, then you're going digital, period. So it's going to have to be done.
No, I don't know. We'll just deal with it when it comes.
Well, it's coming in 2 weeks.
Digital's coming in 2 weeks.
So the no pennies,
Okay.
the rounding to the nearest dollar starts in 2 weeks at Sam's Club. At our particular Sam's Club.
Sounds like a good reason not to shop at Sam's Club.
Well, then where are we going to get our bulk food? I'm going to drive 3 hours to Jamesport.
You don't have to drive 3 hours to go up north.
That's 2 hours to get to Nebraska and then get to where you're talking about. It's an hour. Well, I guess it's an hour and a half, hour and 15, hour and a half.
Yeah, Lynn's right. They want you to go digital so they can trace everything. Okay.
Yep.
Homestead Twins local Wisconsin gas station convenience store chain Quick Trip, spelled with a K, not the real Quick Trip,
Right.
is rounding down to the nearest nickel for cash sales. Exactly.
So maybe that's it. And so, but here's the other thing. And so now there's younger generations that don't even know what a $50 bill looks like, and older generations that don't want a $50 bill, because now other merchants are saying, we won't take $50 bills. So now the $50 bill is out. So I guess it's easier to counterfeit a $50 bill.
Actually, 20s.
Is it 20s?
20s are the easiest.
So I don't know. And there's several younger generations. There's a large number that don't even know what a $50 bill looks like. And a lot of people that won't take them because they can't spend them.
Susie looked it up. Pawpaws can grow there.
Good.
Just gotta
find some seeds.
Gotta find something.
Eventually, we'll get
you some seeds next year.
You won't have fruit next year. You need to find somebody that has fruit and get them from Melinda.
Chris has a plot.
Oh, Chris has a plot.
Chris has a plot. We just haven't been over there.
Right.
Every time he goes over there, the animals have gotten all the fruit off of it already.
You can't go too late. Now's the time to be getting them.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But anyway, we'll get you some seeds. I'll see if I can smuggle some. But anyway, so yeah, I thought that was interesting. Like pushing the digital dollar. I don't like it. But it feels uncomfortable. This old dinosaur doesn't like change. I don't like change. Not
unless it's Sam's Club giving you the change.
Yeah. So, but I texted him and like, start saving every single penny. Don't get rid of it. So apparently it costs 3.1 cents to make a penny.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, then the pennies are worth a lot more and we haven't paid that. So we need to save our pennies and then smelt them.
Speaking of precious metals, have you guys been following the price of silver the past 4 weeks?
I told Karen, I'm like, dang. And I said, here's my number. When it gets to this number, we are going to go cash it in. And he looked at me and he goes, and do what with the cash? And I'm like, oh. Took the helium out of my balloon.
But yeah, it spiked at $59 on Sunday morning, and it's sitting at around $51 right now. Yeah, over 50.
Yeah.
So it's kind of concerning that it's going up like that, because it means that there's volatility in the market.
Yep.
And they are expecting
chaos.
Yeah, they're expecting some chaos.
Yep. Which we knew was going to happen. We were all told that this was what was going to happen. It's going to get harder before it gets better. Trump was extremely honest about that. In order to fix it, it has to get harder before it gets better. It's going to be decades before a penny.
There are billions of
worth
them in
more than a penny.
Yeah, the modern pennies cost 3 cents to make, which is why they're getting rid of it. Yeah, but you're right. There are pennies. Oh,
I still have. I've got, like, Mom had the buffalo penny, the wheat penny, and it's in gold and it goes on a necklace. I just don't wear it because I'm afraid to lose it, and so that's put away. And then yeah, so there's several pennies that you don't want to get rid of. I would be happy if I could find a 3-cent penny, but I'm not going to pay that much.
It's up another. It's an up.
Is it 52.24 right now?
It's up another 60 cents since yesterday.
Nice. Wow.
I haven't seen or heard anyone address Trump about immediately addressing our nationwide infrastructure and its total security yet.
I think it's coming.
You haven't heard Trump say anything about it, or you haven't heard anybody talking to Trump about it. That's one of those things. I'm positive that they know about it. Question is, will they move on it? The infrastructure, we get some insight due to some connections that we have, and the electrical grid is extremely vulnerable. There are Chinese components in every single transformer that's in America. And the Chinese can turn our grid off anytime they want. That's also extremely vulnerable to EMP shields.
Yep.
Or I'm sorry, EMPs. EMP shields will help you.
EMP
protect your house.
Will help you protect the house. Where there was a point that the electrical grid was getting ready to install the EMP shields. Biden came into office, and I think that portion halted.
No, it was never on a national scale. No, that was
sure about
individual co-ops and stuff.
Yeah, there's it's iffy and weird, and we have to be careful with the information. But so yeah, so it's stuff that was being looked at, and then when Biden got in office, it all of a sudden for some reason wasn't so important, and now we're in the thick and thin again. I would really like to see Trump get that executive order back into place for EMP shield, not just selfishly, because of course we would benefit from that, but I would like to see that get in place so that later on down the road we can benefit from that, not money wise, but electrical wise.
I'm gonna say it.
Electricity.
I'm gonna say it. President Trump, show me the money.
Yeah.
You show me the money.
Yeah, no,
G
would love another executive.
He wants to sell all his stock when it's $100 a share, and
no, it's got to be more than that.
And to sit back and enjoy the rest of his life instead of working until he's 75.
That was probably the best damn campfire we ever sat at. That's how that started, was a campfire and listening to somebody.
I know a guy. That's literally how.
I know a guy.
That's literally how the conversation started.
You meet him. And then next thing you know, we're scrambling to, okay, how are we going to invest in this and that kind of thing. And we haven't been disappointed so far. It's been good. So
tolerable.
It's been
tolerable.
Well, more money than what we invested. We're doing pretty good. Yeah. So I just won't sell any of it. And I'm like holding him off. Nope, we got to get to a certain number before we go, okay, we're out. So, yeah. But, there's a pretty cool person that's handling that, and so
just remember, you can use our code Grumpy to get $50 off your
EMP
shields.
And so so right there's our dividends. So we're giving them to you. use code Grumpy and order that empshield.com. And here's the deal: we have them on everything. Our house, we've got them on our vehicles.
Got to get a couple more.
We need some antenna ones and generators. So we got to have an input and output for the generator. But
no, Len, it's not public yet. It's a privately owned company.
Getting ready to
I
go
don't
public.
know. I can't.
Yeah. Well, can't give a lot of information, but anyway, getting ready. So, yeah. And that's, we actually, my dream, I'm waiting for NASA to come in and buy the company.
No, you want Northrop. You want Northrop or
Northrop?
General Electric or somebody like that.
Somebody
in the military industrial complex.
Come and get it.
Because they got deep pockets.
Come buy me out. And
okay, time out, guys. Okay, since we're talking about EMP shields, here's the deal. It is not an end-all fix. The EMP shield will not protect you 100%.
It'll keep your house from burning down.
It will protect the stuff inside your house, but the EMP shield is part of a comprehensive alternative energy plan that you set up. Mm-hmm. So you get a generator, something to generate power with. You've got stuff to run. Keeps everything from getting fried in the process. Too many people look at it and go, "Oh, this is a complete solution," and it's not. It's part of a comprehensive plan.
So, for example, if your house has ever got hit,
no, and hang on a second. It's not insider trading. It's there's stuff that we've been told to keep close to our vest. Right. And some stuff we deal with other companies, and so some stuff is non-disclosure. So we haven't signed a non-disclosure thing.
Well, but we're not stupid either.
We've been asked not to.
So there's some stuff, as investors, we've seen some stuff that well, we don't have to get into any of that, but there's reasons for it, Len.
I like that. Code Grumpy.
Yeah. But yeah. So anyway, we've seen a lot of it. So, for example, your house gets hit by lightning. You have a surge. That surge comes through. You've lost TVs. We've had to replace TVs.
I lost my stereo system in DC. I was so upset.
All of that. Had we had an EMP shield on the freaking electrical panel, none of that would have happened. And but it didn't exist at that time either. So it is what it is. But had we had that, it would have been fine. And then on our vehicles, so here's the great thing about having it on your vehicle is that should a would you call it the magnetic pulse comes through, something like that, if that were to happen, and believe me, there is capability for drones to fly through and make that happen. So say China declares war or somebody else, that kind of thing. Everybody else's vehicles will stop in the road and they can't go forward. You can. Your vehicle's going to still be running.
And Tiger,
so it does that.
You're absolutely correct. What it's doing is it's isolating your system from the rest of the grid.
Yep.
So when the rest of the grid goes down and all the damage is done, it's not being done to your stuff.
Right. When it comes back up, you're going to be far ahead. Everybody else.
There's a guarantee on it, and I tell everybody
$50,000 insurance.
20 up to 25.
Is it 25,000?
But I tell everybody if it doesn't work and the EMP sends us back to the Stone Ages, if you can make it to my house, I will let you in. If you can make it to my house.
Only way you're going to be able to do that is put an EMP shield on your vehicle.
No, if they got an EMP shield, it will have worked and they won't have to come to our house. Right?
Right. Who was that? I just sounded like, was that Yogi Bear that sounded like that? Who was that bear that used to do that?
Bonnie, those are strictly for the meter, to keep the meter from getting toasted.
Right.
And even then, those will not protect you from an EMP. The way that the EMP defeats the common surge protector is because the E1 pulse on the EMP moves so fast that it blows right by the breaker before it can be tripped, or the shunt. And that's all EMP shield is. EMP shield is a high speed shunt, and what it does is it dumps all that extra amperage into the ground, and that's how you protect it. All right, and it's the only one out there. It's the only one out there that's been tested. I tell people all the time, go look at their testing page. If you can read through that stuff, go
It
there.
has been military tested.
Yep, I remember Dark Angel. I remember that. That was big whenever we were in DC. I remember watching that on Saturday afternoons.
Yeah.
All right. That's what I'm saying. Well, protect your personal infrastructure. Make sure you have capabilities to provide your own electricity and protect it too.
Right. Yep.
And you get solar and you put an EMP shield on the inverter and that protects you.
Yep.
Believe it or not, solar panels, they've tested them. EMPs will not hurt the panel themselves. The damage comes when it hits the inverter and it blows the inverter out. Or the controller. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So all of this information is out there, empshield.com. Go check it out for yourself and read up on everything and take a look.
Yeah.
Take a look at the videos.
I fully expect to get some hate in the comments if anybody watches this, because every time we talk about EMP Shield, there's always some internet EMP expert that tells us that it doesn't work and they don't know.
You know what's really funny to me is I miss, because a lot of people, they only know me by Yoda, and so in Grumpy Acres Farm, so it's a lot of fun because I'll get a call here and there. It used to be a lot more, now not so much, but it's like, hey Yoda, will you go ahead and order this? Like somebody would come out with an EMP shield, quote unquote, that was trying to mimic ours. So do you remember that one company?
Yeah, dude, down in Florida.
Finally he caught on and he's like, stop it. Because I was ordering them and we were tearing them apart to make sure.
Well,
he was trying to rip off our model.
So the problem, guys, and this is just a caveat. If you go out and you find something that says it's EMP proof or it's an EMP protection device, 90% of those are literally
surge protectors.
They're literally Walmart surge protectors that have been taken apart and put in a brand new package.
Right. And
they will not protect you. They won't even, a lot of them won't even protect you from a lightning strike.
Yep.
You know, so just beware. The only one out there that's been tested and proved is the EMP shield.
Florida man.
He was literally
from Florida.
Was a Florida man.
So, but yeah. So
that's that knucklehead that got Spags in trouble for making the discount code his name. He was from Florida too.
We used him so we were making our discount code, like he was a total turd. So we're like a friend of ours, John Willis, he'll make, if you're a total troll or just a turd bucket and that kind of thing, he'll make your name a discount code. So we were like, hey, I can't say it because I don't want anybody to get in trouble, but hey, make this guy.
No, it was Spags.
It was Spags that did
it. Was Spags. Spags doesn't work anymore, so they can't get in trouble.
Yeah? All right. So, hey, make Leviathan, make him a coupon code. And so he did, and it was like total, like the guy threatened to sue. All of a sudden, we were in trouble. One of your executives, which joke is on him, we're investors, not executives.
This guy had a complete meltdown.
Conniption. He was so upset that he was a coupon code. I find it funny, like total win. We won. Thanks, Bags.
Well, so at least for a little bit. But they asked me politely to change it
and take it down.
And to take the video down.
Like, well, all right. So I guess we will. But sometimes you got to play politics when it comes to a business. So we get it. So anyway, all right. Well, are you ready to go full on into politics?
I guess. It's 9:15.
And I am going to go do
feed
a couple
the dogs.
Things. If it's cool enough, I'll feed the dogs. I need to finish dishes and perhaps start on apples. Hey, you, get off me. Stop it. Don't hurt me.
Well, she's trying to get past the doggo.
Right.
So I
love you guys. Take care. Be 10% better tomorrow than you are today.
The big news today and yesterday was President Trump getting the hostages released. I'm going to give you my take on this. All right. Number one, I am not a big fan of the Israeli government. All right. I do not think that the Israeli government represents the people of the Bible. I think it represents the Israeli government. Okay. So I'm going to say that. It's a good thing that he got the hostages released. But there's two things out of this that a takeaway for me. Number one, this whole thing showed that violence works, because the only reason Hamas decided to buckle under and let the hostages go and get rid of their only bargaining chip was because Israel was going to kill them to a man, and they've been doing a great job of killing Hamas people, right? So the whole reason why the peace thing came about was because Hamas was afraid that Israel was going to take them completely out. And my hat's off to the Trump government or the Trump admin by the fact that they let them do what they needed to do, unlike the Biden administration. The second thing is, anybody that thinks that this is a permanent fix, permanent peace to the Middle East, yeah, it ain't. So the radicalism, the radicalization in the radical Islam is a cancer, and you don't coexist with cancer. You destroy it. You cut it out of the body. You get rid of it. And they did not get rid of it. It's going to metastasize, and it's going to be back within 5 to 10 years, if that long. All right. So just be aware of this. Anybody that says it's a lasting peace, yeah, it's not going to be, because the world doesn't work that way. So just take that for whatever you want. I mean, you can disagree with me. That's fine. Lord knows I've had people disagreeing with me quite a bit recently. But there's that. And then you got this Katie Porter out of, where's she out of? Is she out of California? This lady's nuts, man, blowing up on air because somebody was standing in the background, just completely crazy. And something about liberal politicians, they're becoming more and more unhinged. And it's not just the politicians. Okay, we're going to backtrack one step. I am probably not a good person. My take would have been to write off the hostages and wreak vengeance on Gaza. That the Gazans, yes, absolutely. I agree. I would not have negotiated with them. I would have told them, let them go, or we'll kill you all. But I'm not in the most powerful position in the world, so I really don't have a say in it as much as I'd like to. But and so I found how sometimes you step into a mess on purpose. And I was out with the animals tonight, and I stumbled across a YouTube live, and this guy, he's an expat that lives in Japan, and this guy, he just said his whole thing was just like, screw with me, please screw with me, because he's sitting there, he's telling people to go out to these No King rallies this weekend and to get arrested and call the police officers Nazis. He said call them Nazis, just like Brad Pitt in Inglourious Basterds. Call them Nazis because you'll cut them to their souls. And he just saying all kinds of stupid stuff. So naturally, I was out there. I was bored. The animals were behaving. Dolly was doing a good job. I started messing with him, and he would never take the bait. So I'll give him that much. He stayed on point, even though that point was about as sharp as a pound of wet liver. He stayed on point. But you run across these people all the time, and it was amazing at how ignorant he was. I was completely amazed, and I call him out. He's the worst type of expat. I ran into these people in several foreign countries. He's the worst type of expat because they go over to these countries and they talk crap about America to the locals, and they sit there and they tell people that are here in the States how they should behave and what they should do. This guy was literally telling people to go get arrested. And I guarantee you, and anybody that's been to Japan, back me up on this. I guarantee you that this dude will not get arrested in Japan. He will do absolutely nothing to get arrested in Japan because Japanese jails are vicious. They are borderline barbaric, seriously. And that's just in the conditions. I'm not talking about, the people that could hurt you. I'm just talking just the basic conditions. They won't let you starve, but that's about it. Okay, there's no such thing as lasting peace in the Middle East, not until the millennial kingdom comes in the Messiah's return. Yep. Or you take away all the rocks so they can't throw them at each other. Maybe that's part of the millennial kingdom. He'll take all those rocks away from those people. I don't know. But and we have to engage these people. Yeah, you can't fix stupid, but what you can do is you can highlight how stupid they are, and the people around them, the people that are just like ancillary to them or adjacent to them, can see exactly how stupid they are. Yeah. Pull any crap in Japan, your life expectancy as America is less than 3 years. Absolutely. It is not. I can tell you right now, Japan is not a place you want to go to jail. But we have to engage these people. And I'm not saying go out this weekend and engage the No Kings people, because they're a special type of retard. Just saying it. They're like stupid on steroids. And Trump's a dictator. Okay, he's a dictator. He's literally the worst dictator in the history of dictators in the entire history of the world. He's the worst dictator. And I can't, and they use words I don't think they know what they mean. Seriously. This guy tonight kept using the word Nazi, and I'm like, I don't think it means what you think it means there, pal. And then he started throwing fascists around. And I was like, okay, now I know he doesn't know it. But to him being a Nazi was him not having free speech and people getting arrested for violent riots. That was being a Nazi. Okay, go figure. Who cares? But then he jumped over the stupid line with both feet, and I just had to check out. I was like, okay, I can feel my brain cells dying, so I need to walk away at this point. Because apparently blacks have lost all their rights in America now. They have lost all their rights, and it's all Trump's fault and MAGA's fault. MAGA Nazis. FAFO is brutal in Japan. Piss off police, ass kicking in jail, piss off the Yakuza, and yeah. Probably one of the most violent police things I ever saw was there were a group of communists when we were in Okinawa, when I was in Okinawa, that they would ride around on their bikes. They'd get on those little Honda 50cc bikes, and they go tearing up and down 58 with 2x4s. And they'd see Americans walking down the sidewalk, and they'd run up on the sidewalk and whack them with a 2x4. Well, the police caught them one day, and they were chasing them, and we just happened to be sitting by the back gate of Camp Kinzer, and we see all these Japanese police cars line up across the road. They got these little mobile booking stations, like little vans. This thing pulled up, and these guys got out. And this one cop was the biggest Japanese dude I ever seen in my life. And he wasn't like sumo big. This dude was built like a triangle and looked like the proverbial brick, what house. Anyway, they line up across the road, and they got these 5-foot rattan wands that are about that big around. And rattan is just bamboo put together with rings and stuff. These guys are coming down the road, and these motorcycles are doing 40, 50 miles an hour. This dude steps out into the road and whacks the driver of one of these bikes right across the chest. And it was just like in the movies. The dude stopped moving, the bike kept going, and him and the passenger just sprawled on the ground. And then they literally picked him up and threw him in the back of this truck and booked him and took him off. But that was, and it was brutal too. Portland mayor said the ICE government facility is in violation of zoning regulations. You know what? His city, his government is the one that told him they could do it there. So it sounds like that's the city's problem, not ICE's problem. And the fact is Portland is a lost cause. All right. If I was the federal government, I would pull every federal officer out of Portland, and I would barricade it, and I would let them deal with it. The government in Portland, Oregon, and a lot of these big blue cities are held hostage by the radicals because they're the ones that put them in power, and they can't say anything or else they lose power. And that's worse. That's worse than protecting or the fallout from not protecting their citizens. Backstory: in Japan, you get driver's license based on experience. Lots of tough biker gangs, very young, who can only drive mopeds. Funny as hell. Leather jackets, chains, and moped. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Tiger, that's about right. I mean, because look at, in fact, I was watching a news article today. They were bemoaning the fact that businesses are leaving Portland. In fact, Wells Fargo is moving their big regional office out of Portland at the end of the year, and they're like, oh, you know what? Why are they leaving? It's because your city's a shithole. It's being held hostage by radical leftists. And the police in Portland. I found this out today. This is very interesting. So the first 6 months of the year, they spent $480,000 on overtime for Portland police. At that 6 month mark, whenever they had to pay that $400,000 bill, that's when the police stopped being involved in Portland. That's when they completely checked out and they just watched the crime happen. And it's all because they cannot sustainably pay these guys, and they don't want them walking off the job because they're not getting a paycheck. So that's why they are not engaging. It's got nothing. The police not engaging has nothing to do with the politics of the individual policeman. It's got everything to do with who pays their paycheck. And again, there's a huge issue there. There is a huge issue there. Who pays their paycheck? You can have the most conservative, patriotic police officer in the world, but at the end of the day, if he's beholden to the city for a paycheck, he's going to do what he's told, right? And let's be completely honest. Law enforcement has protected the bad guys. They protect the lawbreakers. They protect They protect the radicals, and the law enforcement and the legal system is not geared towards protecting citizens. And it's not in their business, their job description. They're law enforcement officers. Their job is to enforce the law. Doesn't matter if it's a just law. It doesn't matter if it's politically motivated law. That's their job. This is why I heard somebody talking about bringing peace officers back, and I've become a very firm believer in that we need to have peace officers instead of law enforcement officers, because their job is to uphold the peace. So that's just, again, that's my radicalization here. At least I'm not sitting in a foreign country telling people to go get arrested. I'm actually here doing stuff, and I'm standing behind what I say. Anyway, yeah, that was a dig at him. I ought to put a at the dude's channel name in the description when I'm done, just to egg him on. Okay, couple more things before we go. So I don't know if you guys remember me talking probably 4 or 5 months ago about the NACs, the what are they called? The natural asset corporations, where these companies go in and they buy land and then they sell shares in this land. Amazon is pushing this really hard. Amazon is hiring Kent Boygan, which is what is it? It's a business out of Britain, and they're being hired as the director of global sustainable development to implement practices to cut carbon and deliver neighborhood benefits, quote unquote. And Kent Boygan says it's about making smarter choices earlier. So what they're doing is they're looking at buying underdeveloped land like forests and meadows and using ecological assessments showing traditional development could endanger biodiversity. So what they're doing is they're gonna try to keep this stuff from being used. And it's rather onerous, right? And as soon as I can quit buying from Amazon, the better. Not going to happen anytime soon, but I'm working on it. We're not buying nearly as much stuff as we used to do from Amazon for that very reason. Yeah, legitimized tar and feathering. It worked. And it was not a pleasant thing. You know, I personally, I think I'm gonna do a story on it. I'm gonna do a video on this. I'm gonna do the history of how the Patriots in Boston literally tore down the governor's mansion and sent him running back to live in Britain in disgrace for the rest of his life prior to the Revolutionary War. I think that would be a good story to tell. I think politicians need to understand that we can only be trifled with so much. All right. What else did I have? I can't think of anything else. Oh, no, I take that back. I got a bunch of stuff. Oh, so the tariff, the Chinese tariff because of the rare earth metals. You know, prior to 1993, was it? No, I think it was even further than that. 95. It was 95. The United States was mining the largest deposits. We had deposits of every single mineral on the periodic table in America, and it could be mined. And they started outsourcing it to China because the process of processing rare earth minerals is a very dirty process. And so they started outsourcing it, and now we produce very little rare earth metals. Well, that's one of the things about this tariff, and the government is trying to get those industries back up and running, which is a good thing because we don't need to be dependent on a foreign country for those type of things. All right, so keep an eye on that one. Anything else you guys want to talk about? I mean, I can go completely radical. And if you're new to the channel, this is sorry, not sorry. You know, you get this the second half. Whenever Yoda walks away, if you don't want to hear politics, go someplace else. I don't care. You know, but this is stuff that affects us on a daily basis on the homestead and in our daily lives, and we need to be aware of it. And we need to be, quite frankly, we need to be just as radical as the left has become. You know, I'm not saying as violent, but we need to become as adamant and as vocal as what they have become. And remember, just like the Gaza war, the October 7th war taught us, you know, it's violence is an option, and violence does get results. Yeah. Rare earth isn't rare. It's very dirty. We have 2 processing plants that can spin up in 3 months. We used to be the leader until the greenies got sway. Yeah, absolutely. And they are kicking those people out of the government left and right these days. America has everything we need. People just don't want to do what needs to be done here. We need to be as independent as possible. Amen. And that's what the channel's about, right, guys? Building community, food independence, self-reliance, modern self-reliance. These are the things that uncouple us from that dependency, right? That makes us weaker. And hopefully more and more people, I can say this with some certainty. I can tell you that over the last 2 or 3 years, we see more and more new people getting into the preparedness space, and they're concerned about what's going on, and they're trying to do that. So people are waking up slowly but surely. Okay, one last thing before we go. Tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I do not have a video that I'm going to post for you, but I'm going to do you one better. We're going to be on with Two Old Crows, Shelly and Randy, and we're going to talk about bartering. So tune in tomorrow night. I'm going to make sure that it streams on our channel too. I'm going to send her an email, let her know, and we're going to do that. We're going to talk about bartering as an alternative economy, and it should be a pretty interesting show. Shutdown. How long will it last? It will last until the Monday after the No Kings rally. They found some Democrat documents that basically said, yeah, we're not going to shut down until after that's over. So that's That's the earliest it will shut down. Or I'm sorry, it will open back up. Do what?
What's the reason behind that?
Because they don't want to upset the radicals. It's just like they can't say that President Trump did something good in getting the hostages released, because it will upset the radicals. It will upset the people that put them in power, and then they're in trouble. You know? Yeah. Rabbit, you can't tell us what to do. You can't tell us how to behave. Put kibble in the two and eggs in the other one. All right, guys. Trying to feed the dogs. All right, guys, listen. Thanks for showing up tonight. We really appreciate it. You guys make it all worthwhile. In fact, you guys are the only thing that keep me coming back to YouTube. Seriously. There's times when I just want to walk away, but I'm like, nope. I enjoy interacting with these people, and yet you people, interacting with you is fun, and I feel kind of responsible. I hate to say this, I feel kind of responsible. I've got you guys here on the channel, and I don't want to leave you hanging. So I gotta keep you informed. I gotta keep you motivated. I may not do a very good job of it sometimes, and that I apologize. But hey, you know what? You're getting what you paid for on this channel, right? So I hope Tiger got her money's worth tonight. But so you guys, if you want to help yourselves and help the channel in the process, again, go hit the affiliate links down below. And most importantly, I want you guys to go out and live a life done free tomorrow. Take care.
Introducing Rockpot, the revolutionary portable slow-cooking appliance that keeps your meals warm for over 9 hours without the need for electricity or propane. Simply heat the Rock tablet on your stovetop or over a fire, place it in the Rockpot with your ingredients, and enjoy perfectly cooked meals wherever you are. Plus, the exterior remains cool to the touch, ensuring safe handling on all your adventures. Get $10 off your first purchase by clicking on the affiliate link and using the code GrumpyAcres at checkout. Elevate your outdoor cooking experience with Rockpot today.